Now, how the shooting in the arm of a bodaboda rider by a rogue policeman led to the death of the rider, his lawyer, Willy Kimani, and a taxi driver is as intriguing as the subsequent murder trial. The length at which the aggressor went to subvert justice and deny the victim state protection, as well as a belated attempt by one suspect to challenge the legitimacy of the trial judge, exemplify the schemes that had for long been employed in denying victims access to justice. Jacob Kioria reports.
23rd of June 2016, a lawyer, his client and taxi driver are abducted in broad daylight as they leave the Mavoko law courts. A daring abduction that occasions frantic efforts seeking their whereabouts and mass protests by lawyers in the country demanding for government action on the matter. Willy Kimani, an advocate of the High Court and working with the International Justice Mission, his client Josephat Mwenda and Joseph Miruri, whose only fault was to ferry the two to Mavoko law courts in his taxi, were caught in the crosshairs of a rogue police officer. The bodies of the three would be found wrapped in sacks floating in Oldonyo Sabuk River a week later. A well-choreographed murder by the people who were supposed to protect the three, an intricate web that ropes in colleagues of a main aggressor, and the failure by the Witness Protection Agency, an institution tasked with protecting witnesses, that finally left them in the open to be targeted by the main aggressor, Senior Police Officer Frederick Leleman. Josephat Mwenda had run in with Leleman while operating as a bodaboda rider in Mavoko that led to the shooting of Mwenda's right arm, prompting him to file a complaint with the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA. It is at this point that Willy Kimani is instructed by his organization to take up the matter and represent Mwenda. According to evidence adduced in court, Leleman was incensed by Mwenda's move to report him to IPOA and continued to harass him, arresting him and ensuring that he faces trumped-up charges of traffic and drug peddling related offences. It is during the proceedings of this case that Officer Leleman, alongside his colleagues Stephen Cheburet, Sylvia Wanjiko and Leonard Mwangi, would hatch a plot to eliminate Mwenda and his lawyer. The plan would at a later stage rope in police informer Peter Ngugi. In February of 2016, at the height of the heightened aggression against Mwenda, the International Justice Mission, the organization that Willy Kimani worked for, wrote to the Witness Protection Agency, IPOA, and the Inspector General of Police to provide protection to Mwenda, but there was hesitation because he was deemed an accused in the case and not a victim. In the course of a hearing of the traffic charges facing Mwenda, police officers arrested the accused and Kimani, purporting to grill them over a robbery in Meru, but released them after 6 hours. After their abduction on the 23rd of June 2016, while leaving the Mavoko law courts, the three are suspected to have been murdered at around 10 p.m. the same day by strangulation. Mass protests by lawyers prompted investigations that led to the arrest of the 4 police officers, marking the beginning of a rigorous 6 years of a court case and the pain and anguish of families awaiting justice. On the 11th of August, a judgment for habeas corpus faulted police, saying had they acted on Josephat Mwenda's IPOA complaint, the 3 men might have been saved from their slayers. On the 25th of August, Ngugi, the police informer, was also arrested. Despite the 5 being arrested between July and August and charged, the trial began in November of 2016 before then High Court Judge Jesse Lesit. The prosecution would line up 46 witnesses and 117 exhibits, while the defense had 34 witnesses. During the course of a trial, the police informer, who is listed as the 5th suspect, attempted to retract his testimony. During the discharge of judgment today, Judge Lesit relied on his corroborated evidence about a note Willy Kimani wrote to his wife and dropped it through a window while being held in a container at the police post, the use of a Toyota NZD vehicle during the execution of the free, and the presence of a cigarette butt at the murder scene to dismiss the retraction. The police informer also attempted to file a mistrial challenge on the case, claiming that Judge Lesit, who was appointed judge of the Court of Appeal last year, had no jurisdiction on the matter as it was under the High Court. Today's verdict marking the end of the road for the four, some relief for police officer Leonard Mwangi, and justice finally for Willy Kimani, Josephat Mwenda and Joseph Moiruri, as well as their families. John Jacob Kioria, Easy Friday.
Thank you, Jacob Kioria, for that look at the intrigues surrounding that particular trial that's been on since the year 2016. The death of human rights lawyer Willy Kimani, his client, and a taxi driver, looking at all those intrigues. The ruling today is a guilty verdict for four of those. We're taking a quick breather. What are we looking at next?
Absolutely. We'll be back with social media. Remember, there's a lot that's been trending this past week. A lot of stories that, you know, you've had a lot to say about. So make sure you stay tuned because that's coming right after this short commercial break. Don't go too far. This